All right, welcome everybody to the third of your all open mic summer Helicon West. Looks like a good crowd, so we will get started. You'd think I would memorize this by now. I almost have it. I'm getting it. Okay, anyway, here's the thing. Welcome to Helicon West. I am your MC, Naomi. Helicon West is an uncensored public reading series. We regularly host published authors alongside community writers to promote and support all levels of skill, ability, and craft. If you would like to read during the open mic, which since it's all open mic, yay, you already signed up, but there are spaces available, so if you change your mind during the readings, if you get so inspired, go ahead and find me. Then you just sign up on the sheet, blah, 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 we got that, okay. Let's see. We acknowledge that Helicon West operates on the territory of the northwestern band of the Shoshone Nation. Our events are made possible. Now this is the part where I pause for audience participation. Our events are made possible by Sugar House Review. Yay! Our co-creator and forever goddess, Star Colebrook. The Logan Library. And the U.S. English Department. Yay! Love, you know? If you would like to support Helicon West and our efforts to be totally awesome, there are bookmarks with the QR code thingy and, you know, do the thing. And pay us money. You can also visit the website, the Helicon West, to buy merchandise and read the full land acknowledgement, and there's interviews of past featured writers that are pretty cool. Okay, our readers, I'll do 3 at a time, even though there aren't that many. So the first 3 are Isaac Kim, Ronald Jensen, and Star. I'm going to take my stuff. So.
I did it.
I couldn't keep there.
No.
All right. Is that gonna work?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Got 2 poems. This one is Skin. Skin. How did they see it? How did I not? I would stand naked in the full-length bathroom mirror, looking for disease, look at the enlarged calves, the slight slope to the shoulders, but other than that, just as human as anyone else. Sometimes disease would reach out, pull my breath from my lungs, burn my muscles from the inside, but if I sat still, like a cat, watching a bird, like water when the wind stops, and you float ever so careful that even your breath won't ripple the water, then I would be like everyone else, and you would see me, my skin no different, worth touching. So I take the cold in, bones, heart, water from the mountain, icy rind on granite. Dream of water. Dream of water. I once saw the great lake brimming, half submerging the black rock that my ancestors camped around, laying down quilts on the sharp salt grass. After lunch, they waded out, the water holding them up, brine and faith.
Look at that guy here in the pool. He looks so great. He looks so cool. I have a crush on him. He is so hot. But unfortunately, he's not someone I got it. So I have to go home and deal with him. I will see my guy. He got my swim. I want to go home. When I go home, is what she said. I'll see you again, and I'll go to bed. You can't be gone. You must stay here. You're not well enough to leave, my dear. I want to go home, so she did. In this world, with everyone's head. Thank you.
I'm Star. Thanks for being here. Tonight I'm just going to read one short piece, and it's titled The Hedgehog Remedy. The Hedgehog Remedy, November 23rd, 1998. I run into an old friend at somebody's attic, the local thrift store. She tells me she keeps a pet hedgehog in the bathtub. It's safe from the cats in there when the door's closed. She had 11 cats until recently. Then she inherited a mother with 8 kittens. All 20 cats sleep on her bed. She makes sure they stay inside day and night. If her neighbors complain to the city fathers about that many cats running loose, they might not let her keep them. She also has a pot-bellied pig, but I forget to ask her where she keeps it because I want to tell her about my daughter who knows homeopathy and has told me I need a hedgehog remedy. Something about compatibility with certain animals. You take the milk of one you're matched with and condense it into a tiny pill that looks like a styrofoam pellet. You hold it under your tongue. Oh yes, Donna says, hedgehogs are wonderful for your health. Mine plays quietly in the bathtub all day long, and I take him out at night to bathe. Gives me a reason to clean the tub. Someday when I have time, she says, I'll build him a little hut. Donna has put her master's degree on hold while she works full-time at the library. Says, I have enough education anyway. I'll stay on until I get vested, then buy a house for my pets and myself and my collections. She collects old things. At the attic today, she's looking for dishes, though she has boxes of them stacked to the ceiling. Oh, I know what you mean, I tell her. My partner is a collector. Secondhand stores are our favorite places. I buy my clothes there. He buys everything else. We had to rent a storage unit along with the 2 sheds on our property. I tell her our house is 800 square feet with 2 dogs, 2 cats, and 2 people all sharing our standard size bed. That's exactly the size of my trailer, she says. I don't know how she does it, I tell her. It's a lot to clean up after, and I only have 4 of them, plus my partner and his stuff. Oh, she says, that's why I don't let him have the run of the house. He's a bit dirty. He scatters his droppings around under his little feet. The hedgehog, that is. Her partner, Chip, finished his degree last year and went overseas to teach English. Makes $1,000 a month, room and board paid. He planned to send his earnings back to the States, but he's been gone 4 months and he's only sent money twice. Money worries give me a migraine, I say. That plus the pets and the partner and all his collections, that's why I need a remedy. Well, Donna doesn't seem worried about anything. Later on, I call my sister to tell her about the hedgehog. She says she heard of a woman who kept her iguana in the tub and developed a dreadful disease from bathing in her lizard's toilet. It was on the John and Dan radio show. They said the woman became very ill and lost 30 pounds. Their listeners began calling in to order the iguana diet. I find myself admiring her. Not the iguana woman, but Donna. No envy though, just simple admiration for a woman who's her own person and therefore needs no remedy.
Okay, everybody, unless someone else in the audience wants to sign up, we only have 2 more readers
We've
tonight.
got one right here.
I'll happily sign up.
Okay,
Add Alan to the list.
Alan? Okay. yeah.
Good.
You
can't not
Okay, who else?
Tim.
Tim? No, Tim's already here.
Yeah, I know, he said, never mind.
He's already signed up.
Oh, oh.
Okay. Was there anybody else
Yeah.
that I missed? Yeah, give me your name.
Phaedra.
Sadra?
Phaedra.
Phaedra. Okay. Sorry, in addition to being blind, I'm apparently deaf as well. Okay, all right, so that gives us a few more people. All right, I'm gonna blame that everybody's hungover after Pioneer Day, I guess. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so our next 3 readers are Tim, Mike, I can't read the last name, I'm sorry, Oberall? I'm sorry. Okay, so Tim, Mike, and Alan.
Naomi,
Yes.
I'm gonna need him to shut off the camera for mine, so maybe
Oh, yeah,
Mike
he's-
go first.
But we can.
Yeah, can you do it?
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
do it.
shut it off.
Yeah, he's a pro, he's been trained.
Woody's on it.
I can press the button.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a classic,
I have a hard time following him.
Anyway, I'll do.
I've entitled this one, to introduce you to Fats, the bartender. This is entitled Booze Saved My Life. Family and church were one and the same. Like a drug, its belief and customs were drip infused over time until all things were interpreted through and by way of church mindset. It wasn't designed that way, it evolved that way. My first set of cultural values was the lens through which I interpreted and interacted with the world. I was raised to be honest, and that's what got me in trouble. I told everyone what I was thinking. Didn't see you in church last week, Brother Oborn, what's going on? Eventually, people stopped asking. I was treated like a traitor and looked at like a freak. People actually crossed the street when they saw me walking in their direction. After a time, it gets to you and you begin to think, maybe they're right. It was some time before I understood. They didn't actually hate me, they felt betrayed, and something about me made them feel uncomfortable. The moments that were the hardest to give up were those with my son. I moved. If I moved, I would not see Danny every week until I started writing about liberating myself from fundamentalist culture. I was an apostate. Following the 10, I became a son of perdition. Once I started on the path of freedom, it became a speedway. My mind beginning to sense liberation from its prior bondage that accelerated at a blinding speed, and I read everything I could get my hands on. It was a two-way race. Coming at me from behind was guilt and shame. I was in the oncoming lane, lurching and stumbling forward as obstacles raced toward me, and I soaked up facts like food to a starving man, for literally as a true believer, my mind had been an anemic and malnourished receptacle for the improbable and the guilt-inspired preaching of a cultural patriarchy. My sweet wife didn't know what to do. Her world was rattled to the pins, and she asked for a divorce. And the last thing I wanted, how could I refuse? I was the one that changed. I will never know how many nights she cried herself to sleep in her bed while I did the same in another. Resentments die hard. Eventually, writing became therapy. I thought of writing a nonfiction, but there were and still are so many. To this Utah freak, memoir made more sense. First, I waddled through it. It can't be true phrase because facts were king and logic was sacred. None of my family were the least bit interested in what I was going through, only that I get my mind straightened out and come back to the truth. Eventually, I accepted the fact that no one was interested in what I thought. My life was a cold storage locker. Much later, I realized there wasn't much above my shoulders to work with, and I'd never been taught how to think for myself, but to do what I thought, what I was taught to believe. I was in virgin territory, and it was murky deep, swampy deep, filled with things that bite and sting, and I had been taught what to think and had been taught otherwise. Thinking was the devil's influence, pulling me away from my salvation. It was a 27-year condition that I was crawling out of. Eventually, and in a different town, I had begun to collect a few new sets of friends. One day, after hearing a bit of my story, a sympathetic friend, Woody, shook my head. "Jesus, man, you need a drink." Woody drove, and I met the next best friend. He was a short, fat dude that looked like a baseball with a marble on top. Fats had a lisp and sprayed spittle when he talked. Woody sat, grab a stool and say hi to Fats. I shook his hand. It was wet. Woody formed a pensive look. "Fats, I have a problem that cries for your expertise. What do you recommend for an adult male that has never tasted alcohol in his life?" "His whole life?" Woody nodded. "Don't see many of those." Woody nodded again. Fats backed up, leaned against the liquor cabinet, and fixed his gaze on me. A cloud of serious concern spread over his face. I could almost see code blue flashing behind his eyes. And Woody watched Fats count of 4. Fats looked away, checked the ceiling, took a deep breath, then refocused on me. Another count of 4, a smile, if you can call it that, telegraphed my future. Fats placed 3 shots of glasses on the bar, flipped a bottle of something amber in the air. He caught it without looking and, with great theatrical swagger, hovered over each shot glass until the liquid stacked 1/32 of an inch above the rim of each tiny glass. No spills. What followed was a monumental reckoning. Like this, he said, and down the hatch I watched them both throw it back. Awkwardly, I followed. 10 seconds later, I knew that on our best day, I could outfight, outfart, and outfuck the entire quorum of 12 of the church. No wonder church patriarchs renounced strong drink without wasting further time covering what the happenings of that day, and until his demise, Fats remained a close friend. After 14 years, I calculated 33,000 quarts of Jack Daniels and 2,000 scotch of one kind or another. My liver began to turn into a sclerotic brick. I survived the abandonment and rejection of my family. The culture of servitude I was reared in, and never looked down the barrel of a Smith & Wesson 38 again. The wonders of alcohol saved my life. I survived the drug of fundamentalism. Now I had to take the bull by the tail and face the fact that I was a drug addict. Alcohol was my new drug. My next nightmare was in full throttle.
Hi, folks. 3 poems. This one is still. A common thread that traces its way like a lazily winding creek through each movement for liberation, whether the political theories of the revolutionary or the noble path of the Buddha, is the will to engage in non-action. How then are so afraid to be still. When we are so convinced that only motion will take us to a place where we can finally be happy. When we see the final rest of death as the enemy. Hold. No animal is waiting to hear what we have to say. Maybe she had I. Oh, silence, how I wish to remember you, to see you, roots of a magnificent tree, stable, nurturing, held by and holding all that is above, higher, louder, more visible. Yes, may I remember that you are always an option and no less true. What gardens should be. When planting a garden, I feel the gentle joy of possibility, of vegetables and meals shared with dear friends. When, within a day of planting, grasshoppers munch a full third of the leafy zucchini, I wonder if the openness I felt can extend to them. Is it possible to plant a garden for hungry grasshoppers? Is my heart big enough to house even these friends?
Okay, I want to thank everybody for coming out today and reading. We've had some excellent readers, and especially some of our new people. It's just been awesome to get to know you and all of that. I'm taking up a little bit of time because Phaedra is our last reader, and I just want to say, just, I don't know, keep coming back, tell your friends, all of that good stuff. Our final reader will be Phaedra.
Naomi, I can also read after Phaedra. I'm Adam.
Adam.
Yes.
Okay, our final two readers will be Phaedra and Adam.
Hi, my name is Phaedra. I wrote this poem a couple days ago, and it's called Headphones in the Oven. Headphones in the oven. You're saying sorry for being scared. Locusts hop on dead grass, ducklings become ducks. Under sweating skies, I do not feel like using my ability to understand for forgiveness, but instead for introspection and dissection. Marmots live in the sheds by the cross-country track. I wonder if anyone knows. I see myself as why I hate the people I do. I see myself as a way, as fate, as angrier and angrier. But this never comes out while I say I am kind of mad. Wire on the headphones caught in the oven never stops transmitting sad music, all to soothe without drowning, all to burn candles without using up the wax. You are scared, and I say that's normal, because I am scared of being the people who have scared me. I am not all one piece. Thank you.
I have two poems. This is called A Star of My Cosmos. I wrote this in November of last year, a month before my fiance and I broke off our engagement. In this realm of unknowns and fears, a tale unfolds of a cherished soul my heart beholds, the love of my life, a beacon bright, with tender touch and eyes alight. Beside them stands a cherished friend, a teddy bear named Chadwick till the end. A fluffy companion, wise and true, their bond unbreakable and forever grew. Through laughter and tears, their love remains in Chadwick's presence, soothing life's strains. With stitched embrace and cuddles so dear, he whispers solace, banishing every fear. And in the journey, another soul joins, a faithful dog, Mont, the anchor of coins. With wagging tail and empathetic eyes, Mont's unwavering support never dies. In times of hardship, Mont stands tall, lending strength wherever aim may fall. a paw on my shoulder, a warm embrace, their unwavering presence, a saving grace. Together they form a trinity rare, love's symphony, a melody to share. With Chadwick's tenderness and Mott's loyal grace, they illuminate my life, filling every space. In their love, I've found my reprieve, a sanctuary where my heart can believe. Through the highs and lows, they're always near, my love, my Chadwick, and dear Mott, so dear. So let us celebrate this profound love, where teddy bears, loyal dogs, and Mott are found. In this poem, their story is forever engraved, the love of my life, the support they're paved. Yours, always and forever, Adam. This one I wrote for a hinge date, and it's an iambic pentameter. After she friends up me, I still gave her a Valentine's Day gift, and this was it. In quiet realms where friendship gently waves, there stands Kay with her steel blue gaze. A subtle breeze, like the whispering leaves, yet deeper feelings still shadows haze. Her eyes, a steel blue sea of mystery, reflect a tale untold, undefined. In admiration's quiet treasury, a budding fondness softly intertwined. Our friendship's canvas yet to be unfurled, in the hues of affection yet to bloom. In still blue eyes, a world to be swirled, emotions stirring, awaiting the room. A gentle fondness, quietly, respect. Thank you.
All right, everybody, that is the show.
And even though there are fewer of us than there are chairs, can everyone please help put the chairs over again?
Yes, if you have the physical ability to do that, that helping is always